What's going on there, everybody? Welcome back to the Art Shack. So this is going to be something a little bit different. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with art, but it has to do with the computer that I recently built. For the longest time, I've been dealing with a computer that, it's fairly good, but it's very, very outdated. It's like current in like 2007 years, and if you know computers, you know that is ancient technology. So I wanted to really get some parts together and build myself a brand new computer that is absolutely just not like top of the line, but really good, that'll really hold me over for a very long time. So the case that I use, it's a half-X full-size case, and I used a Corsair 850 power supply, which is massive. Depending upon the system that you use, you can put in a lot of stuff that you can power up. The motherboard that I went with was the ASUS 990 FX AMD motherboard. It's one of the highly recommended ones off of Newegg, and rightfully so. It's a great, solid motherboard. And so for all of you non-techies out there, the motherboard is basically the central hub of your computer. Without it, well, I guess it's arguably the central hub, could be your processor, but everything that you do, everything that you connect to the computer will connect to this large chip. So here I just installed some RAM. I actually used DDR3 1866 8 gig sticks, so that's 16 gigs of RAM. Your standard store-built or store-bought computer or a laptop will usually have at a max of around 4, unless you're actually buying for performance. This one has 16 gigs of RAM, so it has lots of speed. And here I took off the top of the case, and what's awesome about this case is it has huge fans. It has 200mm fans, 2 of them at the top. The case only comes with 1, but I end up putting 2 in it at the end. I don't have it recorded, but I have 2 at the top now. And the reason why I took the top off is because I am water cooling my processor. Yes, there's going to be water running on the top of the processor to carry the heat away. It's a very efficient way of cooling your system. The reason being is because I'm going to be probably stressing this thing out quite a bit. I'll play some high-end games that will really heat up the processor. Also, video editing, what I'm doing right now, editing this video, also takes up a lot of the processing power, and also will heat up the processor quite a bit. The processor, well, speaking of processors, the one I'm using, it's called the FX-8150. It is a 8-core processor. It comes stock at 3.6 gigahertz, I believe, but I have since overclocked it to 4.2 gigahertz. And your standard computer will usually have like a dual core. Some of them now probably have quad core that sometimes don't even run over 3 gigahertz. Those computers are still fast, but this one's just faster. But that's basically what I did there. And I also put in the video card. That is the XFX Radeon 7950 video card. It's one of the latest in the graphics processing as of right now. I'm sure they'll come up with something new really quick. I also got a 128 gig solid state drive. The advantage over that is that there's no moving parts or pins in your hard drive, so read and write speeds are significantly faster. I just bought a standard cheap DVD drive because I never use it. I just needed to install Windows. That's pretty much the only reason why I've used it so far. Here, all these wires is what's going to control the power button, reset button, all of your hard drive activity, and the little speaker that, for diagnostic purposes. That's what all that's for. And here, I should have installed these first before I put the radiator up, but though I'm putting the fans on the radiator. The great advantage of water cooling is that the fan would normally be on the processor itself, which would drive the warm air away from that point, but with water cooling, it takes all that heat, brings it to the top of the case, and exhausts it right out, so that heat doesn't stay within the case very long. So it's a great advantage. And you can see I'm just doing a bit of cable management, and the biggest thing with this case is cable management. It has a lot of rubber grommets that you can hide cables in easily, plus the size of the case, it's just massive. You can just easily hide cables anywhere. It's pretty cool. The other case that I have, I couldn't do that at all. It's just a massive mess. And here's the other side of the case where all the wires are just in disarray. But it doesn't really matter too much because you'll never see it once you put the other side panel on. It's fully black, fully covered, you'll never see it. While this side that you're viewing here will have a window, so you'll be able to see the inside of the case and be able to view all the features and everything. So here I'm hooking up the cables to the power supply, and I don't think I mentioned it, but the power supply is fully modular. Most power supplies will have all the cables running out of it by default, and you won't be able to take, you can't disconnect any of the cables or anything. You just have to deal with it. With a fully modular power supply, whatever cables you need, you plug into that power supply, so it makes it very, very convenient. It's very nice. So the cables, which is a bonus, the cable is actually long enough for the 8-pin to go all the way through the back, so you can see the long cable going over that large open hole in the back. That cable is long enough to go all the way up and then hook into the top of the motherboard to power that up. And here I'm just doing some basic cable managing for the back of the motherboard tray, just to kind of compress it a little bit more, because although I have some room for the to put the back panel on, I don't have a lot. So it's just going to help out a little bit there. One other thing I put in this computer is a 2 terabyte Western Digital Cabiar Black, and that's for general storage. And then I also threw in an extra terabyte for general purposing storage and things like that. Besides from that, this computer took me about 3.5–4 hours to put together. It's been a while since I've done it, so I had to take frequent breaks to reassess what I still have to do and just to remind myself how to do everything. But all in all, it was a great experience. This case is absolutely awesome. It's the half X. Love it. Anything with those rubber grommets makes it a very, very simple and easy computer build. And here's some pans over the whole computer. And that blue fan in the back, that was an after build. I put that in. It's really messing with the camera, so it makes a lot of like artifacting for the camera, but you still get the effect of what it looks like. There's the radiator at the top. I put some blue coiling around the water hoses just to give it a little added effect. And just some nice pans of the whole system. And here's the ASUS Sabertooth 990FX. Great motherboard. I love it. It's all good stuff. Alright everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this one, even though it's not an art related video in any way, shape, or form. It's just another thing that I take pride of in my life. And it's also going to help me with the after production of making content. So I will be releasing art related videos every week, so if you like this one, please hit the thumbs up and please subscribe, and I will see you all later. Take care.